friends, delegates, guests, it's an honor for me to welcome you to the first inaugural summit of the Pan Africanism. How do we, as Africans in 2013, live in this strange place? The youth is no longer the people of tomorrow. We aren't the future, we're today. We act, we live, we move today. We meet, we interact today. So how, in this strange place, in this continent with complexities, with inequalities, where the issues aren't just a copy-paste of bad leaders who aren't thinking, but where there's serious resource issues and so on that inform the thinking of people, how do we, as young people in this space, come together and move enriched, leave with an understanding of that which we can do? How do we take our desire, which is for the development of the continent, and merge it with some sort of operational, mechanical, day-to-day, this is how we do it?
Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a continent that is crying out for leadership. Continent that is yearning for good leadership, caring leadership, compassionate leadership, bold and courageous leadership, moral and ethical leadership. A leadership which, in the words of Eleanor Roosevelt, does not only inspire confidence in people, but one that inspires people to have confidence in themselves. I'm certain that this summit will inspire robust and engaging discussions and debates on appropriate models of leadership for our continent. I sincerely hope that through these debates and discussions, new insights and ideas can emerge to help deepen and advance our knowledge and understanding of leadership as service to humanity.
The social and economic political decay of Africa is as much due to a collapse or complete collapse of public and personal morality as it is of other factors. When both the elite and the underclasses abandon morality in pursuit of power and or wealth, this sets the stage for endemic corruption and crime. Over time, we have come to accept that the only crime or sin, as it were, is to be caught. There is a tacit understanding that everybody somehow perverts the system and that they are fools if they don't. But in Africa, our worries are not only about personal morality, it is perhaps even more importantly about public morality. We have reached a point where we have institutionalized public immorality as reflected in the political and economic policies and decisions made by many leadership, and which are obscene, not only because their consequences are unjust, but because those consequences are fully intended by a corrupt and cynical leadership.
I think we've arrived at a point in Africa. We've arrived at a point in Africa when we need, in my view, to say, how do we continue to shape the kind of Africa that we deserve, that we can own? And we can no longer and should no longer just simply blame others. We take responsibility. I think the essence of moral responsibility is about taking responsibility ourselves. And the second thing about that is part of taking that responsibility is about the recognition that it is actually ultimately within our power to transform.